This is topic B on page 117, formatting a list.
As you create numbered or lettered lists, Word automatically takes care of providing the numbers or letters in sequence. Sometimes, however, the numbering style or sequence that Word provides by default is not exactly what you want, and you have to apply additional formatting options to obtain the results you're looking for. I'm going to zoom in on my example document here to my renumbering section. So when you create a new numbered list, the items are numbered automatically, and lists automatically renumber when you delete an item, but you may need to adjust the automatic numbering at times. For example, if you combine two lists, the second list may not continue numbering automatically. It may retain its previous numbering and still start at 1. In a case like this, you might need to manually format the list item to continue numbering from the list item above it. So let's say I have a list of 5 people up top here, and I have 4 people starting with Jill at the bottom. I'm going to select this first list initially. I'm going to go up to my Home tab, and in my paragraph group, I'm going to select my numbering drop down, and we're not going to do the default, we'll do capital letters here. So I have that list set. Now let's say I go to set this list up as well. So I select the 4 individuals, go to the drop down, and I'm going to use the same formatting. But let's say this list of 4 individuals was on page 2, but I was actually trying to continue it from the first list. So I don't want to start back at the letter A. I wanted to continue with the letter F. Even though it's on a different page, I can do that. I could just select my list, right click, and you have the option here to continue numbering. And you can see it will continue with the letter F. So it doesn't matter, where in your document the second list was, as long as there's no list in between the two that you're trying to continue, because that could mess it up a little bit. But in that instance, we could select it, and you can set the numbering value. I could pretty much start at anything if I wanted to. I could continue from the previous list. I could start a new list. I could start at letter P if I wanted to. Click OK. All right, so just because it automatically numbers or letters as well something for your list doesn't mean it has to stay like that. Just select what you're trying to change. You can either continue numbering to continue from a previous list, or just right click with your mouse and you can set numbering value as well. You can set it to whatever you wanted to. If it automatically continues with a previous list and you don't want that, right click, restart at A or restart at 1 to restart a new list. Simple as that. Just select the numbering that you're trying to change, right click, and choose the option from that context menu. Very simple there. All right, I'm going to move down to the next page of my example document here, and we're going to take a look at a multi-level list. A multi-level list, also known as a sublist, is a list with a hierarchical structure, where the number or bullet format is configured separately for each level of the list. You can mix numbers and bullets in multi-level lists. You can demote list items to a lower level by indenting them to the right, so that they can easily be distinguished from higher level items. A multi-level list can be created from existing content, or you can start one from scratch. So here I have a list. You can see I start with dogs, and then I have 3 types of dogs: Golden Retriever, German Shepherd, Beagle. Then I have cats. I have 3 types of cats: Persian, Siamese, Burmese. Then I have fish. I have 3 types of fish: angelfish, goldfish, and bettas. So let's say I formatted this into a list. I'm going to select all of my items. And we'll just say I do bullet points. Let's do the default bullet points. Now, in a list, you have different levels that you can format it as. So for this particular list, my first level should only be the text of dogs, cats, and fish. Everything else is a subtype or sub-item of the heading. So what I would need to do here, take Golden Retriever, German Shepherd, and Beagle, and I need to indent these or increase the indent. What that's going to do, it's going to push it to the next level, which would be level 2. So I would go up to my Home tab in my paragraph command group, and here I have the increase indent button. So when I press this, you can see now these are indented above the heading. So what it tells us is these are types of dogs. Okay? So I would do the same for Persian, Siamese, and Burmese. Increase indent. And then the same for angelfish, goldfish, and Vedas. Select those, increase indent. Now I have a multi-level list. All right. In this multi-level list, I have 2 levels. Not many, just 2 levels, but that's still a multi-level list. Now, maybe I don't like how this is set up. I don't like my solid bullets and my empty bullets for my second level. I can choose the whole entire multi-level list, go up to my Home tab in my paragraph command group, and next to my numbering drop-down, here I have a multi-level list drop-down. And you have a bunch of different options here. So you could do something like 1A. This shows the different list levels. 1, 1.1, 1.11. It'll go continue on for your different levels. This one has a star on the first level, an arrow on the second level, and a filled square bullet on the third level. If I select that, you can see star on the first level, arrow on the second level. Now, let's say I wanted to add certain golden retrievers. I could make another level. You know, I don't have to do everything beforehand and then format. I can type new afterwards. After golden retriever, I could press enter. And maybe I wanted to do different ages for golden retriever. Maybe I wanted puppy and adult. I can increase the indent again, and that will bring me to the third level, which is the filled square bullet point. And I could do puppy here. Press enter, it's going to keep me at the third level. And I could do adult. Now if I wanted to add another second level, when I press enter, I'm on the third level. So with my cursor there, I would need to decrease the indent, and you can see it makes an arrow instead. Or if I needed to make another animal, I could decrease that indent again, and we could do something like, well, I wouldn't want that there because it's in between the dogs, actually. So actually after beagle, I could decrease that indent, and we could do horse, enter, then increase the indent. And I don't know any types of horses, so I'm stumped here, but you would do your type there, and so on and so forth. So you can format that multi-level list however you want. And in another section, we will get into how we can make our own bullet points. We don't have to just use the ones that Word has provided for us. I think I've said this before. You can turn anything into a bullet point. My example last time, if you have a picture of your grandma, she can be a bullet point. Your dog, he can be a bullet point. Anything you can turn into a bullet point. So in another section, we'll get into that and how to create them.
Our next video will be activity 4.2 on page 119, formatting lists.